And we begin. So good morning to all of you. Right, so we proceed with the tutorial 9, company tax computation. Okay. For question number, for tutorial number 9, question number 2, the requirement of the question is actually same with the previous one. Okay. Question number 3. Okay. So the requirement of the question is same. Alright, you have to compute the income tax payable for the company name Jaya Group Sdn Bhd for the year assessment 2023, and every item mentioned in the notes to the account, whether have adjustment or not, you still have to make a record. Okay, so if have adjustment, you have to record the amount in the correct column, and if there is no adjustment, you still have to make a record, but you have to record as a nil in also the correct column lah. Alright, so the requirement for the question for tax computation for the company is still the same. Okay, so we see the question, okay, the information, question number 2. Alright, so we have Jaya Group Sdn Bhd. So the company is running the business related to the manufacturing and distributing the household product. Okay, and the production of the company for the year assessment 2023 is started from 1st January until 31st December 2023 lah, which means that the company follow the calendar year for their accounting period or production period for the year assessment 2023. So this is normal lah, right? And then later on, after we done the calculation, we get the chargeable income, then we check back their paid up ordinary share capital at the beginning of the period. So for now, we only need the what they are running the business for what they are running the business, okay, and then secondly the production period, because we want to know whether what they spend, what they earn during the period related to the production of the gross profit for distributing and manufacturing the household product. Okay, right. So of course, when you have the company, they are providing with you the SOCI, Statement of Comprehensive Income. Okay, right. So Statement of Comprehensive Income. Okay, they provide to you as usual. We have a sales minus cost of sale. You get the gross profit, added income minus the expenses. Then you get the net profit before taxation. So when we start to make the tax computation for the company, of course, the amount that we have to start is with the net profit before taxation, 1,755,000 ringgit. Okay, and then you can see that in the statement of comprehensive income, some of the item show in the SOCI not provide you the notes to the account. Again, you can see that for the sales, for depreciation, they not provide you any of the notes to the account. Okay, but we have to check whether you have to make the adjustment or not for the item. If there is no issue, okay, if there is no issue for the item show in the SOCI, we just ignore the transaction. Okay, if have an issue, we have, which means that even though there is no notes given, if have an issue, you still have to make the adjustment. Alright, okay, so we start with the net profit before taxation. Okay, so net profit before taxation. So as usual, you have record and the minus in the last column. Okay, because this one is the amount that we started to make the adjustment lah. Because all the item that you record in the SOCI, okay, you already plus, and all the expenses you already minus in order to get the net profit before taxation. The result in the SOCI is already shown in the net profit before taxation. That's why you have to start with the amount of net profit before taxation to know whether you have to edit back the amount or you have to minus the amount. Alright, so we start with the net profit before taxation, and then you can see that in the SOCI, we start according to the sequence. Alright, we start with the sequence. Okay, you can see that in the SOCI, we have the sales. Okay, and the sales shown that we have 11,010,750,000 ringgit, and they don't give you any notes to the account. Okay, they don't give you any notes to the account, right? So what does it mean? Which means that we assume that 100% of the sales that you earn during the period is related to the production. 11,010,750,000 ringgit is already included in the total amount of net profit before taxation. You already added this amount, and this amount is related to 100% of the production. So we just ignore the transaction. We don't have to make any record for the sales because the amount is already including in the net profit before taxation. So we ignore the sales amount. Thus we go to the next amount, which is cost of sale. Right, number 1 notes, okay, we have 7.901 250,000 ringgit. Okay, so including in the cost of sale in the note number 1, okay, included you have 2 items, okay, that the company include in the total of 7.9 million ringgit in the cost of sale. Okay, what item that include in the cost of sale? We have two provision of guarantee 50,000 ringgit and compensation received 21,100,000 ringgit. Okay, right. So this is how you present your cost of sale lah, because in the SOCI we just total up the amount 7.9 million ringgit. Okay, so what include in the 7.9 million ringgit that listed in the question? Only two. We have provision for guarantee and compensation received 21,100 ringgit. Okay, so we go one by one for the item mentioned in the notes to account number 1, which is in the cost of sale. Right, we have provision for guarantee. Okay, provision for guarantee. So the key point is there. We know that when we have the word of provision, we know that this is only estimated amount not satisfied section 33 subsection 1 that does not allow for the deduction. Okay, so 15,000 ringgit already included in the total of 7.9 million ringgit, which is already deducted in arriving of net profit before taxation. But in the taxation, we know that this amount is not satisfied section 33 subsection 1. Thus, we have to edit back the amount. Okay, we have to edit back the amount, 15,000 ringgit. Okay, 15,000 ringgit. Okay, and then second item that you include under the cost of sale is a compensation received. Okay, why the company receive the compensation? Because, okay, they import the raw material from Vietnam, but when they import the material from Vietnam, okay, the raw material is destroyed in the transportation. Okay, so they claim the insurance from the insurance company, so they receive lah compensation received 21,100 ringgit. And this amount is already included in the total of 7.9 million ringgit, which is already deducted in arriving of net profit before taxation. So we know that this income is related to the production, which is revenue received. Thus, the amount is subject to the tax in the taxation purpose. Right, so since the amount is already included in the total of cost of sales, right, and already deducted in the SOCI, so there is no adjustment needed. We just record as a nil. Okay, right, that one is the first item, okay, that listed in the notes to the account. Now we go for the number second. Okay, second notes to the account is other income. The company already added in the SOCI amounted to 335,500 ringgit. So we see the detail what the company include under the total of the other income. So the company have 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, 4 items that they include under other income. Okay, alright, so they have 4 items, okay, that they include under other income, 2A, 2B, 2C, and 2D. Right, so if you can see in the 2A, 2B, 2C, and 2D, all the income that the company receive, okay, or earn during the period, all not related to the production. Okay, all not related to the production of household product. Okay, you can see that 2A, the company received the rental income where they have the property, they rented out this property and get the rental income. Okay, how we say that this rental income is not related to production? Because, okay, the word stated that they are not not providing the comprehensive and actively the maintenance and support service. Automatically, we know that this rental is not related to the production, but more on the passive source income. Okay, so at this adjusted business income level, of course, this rental income is not related to production of the household product. So we have to minus out the amount, 60,000 ringgit. We have to minus out the amount, and it will be recorded again under the class of income section 4 subsection D. Okay, 2B also same, right? So the company receive the interest income after they place the money in the Maybank as a fixed deposit. Okay, right? So they receive the interest income after they place the money as a fixed deposit in the Maybank. So of course, this income is also not related to the production of the household product. Okay, so at this level, okay, at the adjusted business income level, we have to minus out the amount, and it will be appear again under the class of income section 4 subsection C. Okay, 17,000 ringgit. We minus out the amount and it will be recorded again under section 4 subsection C. Okay, will be assessed separately. Alright, and then the number 2C, okay, also the company received the income which is not related to their production of the household product. When they invest in a local listed company, they receive the dividend income. Okay, so 230,000 ringgit. Okay, it's not related to the production of the household product. So at this level, at the adjusted business income level, we have to minus the amount, and it will be appear again under section 4 subsection C together with the interest. Okay, 2D, we have another income that also not related to the production. Okay, also not related to the production. They receive the dividend income after they make the investment in the A Good Holding Limited, a Singapore listed company. Okay, so the income here is not related to production, so we have to minus out the amount and will be appear again under section C. Okay, section 4 subsection C, but this income is foreign source income. Okay, this is not Malaysian source income, but considered as a foreign source income. Okay, because you invest in the Singapore listed company, so you receive the income. Okay, that one is a number 2 item that listed in the number 2 for the income that not related to the production of the household product. So we have to minus out all the amount and it will be appear again under related section lah, section 4 subsection C or section 4 subsection D. Okay, alright. Now we go for the notes number 3. We have salary, wages and remuneration. Okay, the company already deduct 1,283,000 ringgit in the SOCI. So we see what the company include under salary, wages and remuneration. Okay, so the company include many items in the salary, wages and remuneration. You can see that we have A, B, C, D, E, F and G. Okay, so many items that they total up together in order to get the amount of salary, wages and remuneration. So one of the item that the company include under the level of salary, wages and remuneration is the 20,000 ringgit for the education loan to the employee that the company write off the amount. Okay, so the company spend for 20,000 ringgit when the company provide the loan to the employees, and then they decided to write off the amount. Okay, so you have to know that these expenses is not related to the production of the household product. They are doing the business related to the household product, but when they give the educational loan, of course we know that this is not satisfied section 33 subsection 1, as this amount is not related to the production. You provide the educational loan, okay, which is not related to production. So of course 20,000 ringgit in the taxation not allowed for deduction. Okay, 20,000 ringgit of course in the taxation not allowed for deduction. So we have to add it back 20,000 ringgit. Okay, educational loan not allowed for deduction. So we have to add it back 20,000 ringgit. Okay, second item is the company paid the wages and bonus to the registered disabled employee. 3B, okay. So the company paid, they hired the registered disabled employee, okay. Alright, so of course they pay for the wages and the bonus lah for this registered disabled employee. Alright, so the company paid 170,000 ringgit. So the government said that if you hired the disabled employee, okay, the company is allowed to deduct for the double deduction lah, second deduction in the taxation. Alright, so you already deduct 170,000 ringgit in the SOCI, and one more time you can deduct in the taxation at the adjusted business income level. Okay, so you can minus one more time for the wages and salary that the company paid to the disabled staff, 170,000 ringgit. Okay, so third item that the company include under the level of salary, wages and remuneration is maintenance of the childcare center. Okay, so the company paid the maintenance of childcare center amounting to 11,000 ringgit. Okay, so this is actually normal expenses. Okay, maintain, we only maintain the maintenance, the childcare center. So this is actually normal revenue expenditure satisfied section 33 subsection 1. But this type of expenditure listed under specific section, section 34, subsection 6, subsection I, where the government allowed for double deduction, because the government encourage for the company to have their own childcare center, so that when the parent go to work, so they can send their child in the childcare center at their own company. Okay, so when they maintain the childcare center, this is normal expenditure, but since it's listed under specific section, section 34 sub 6 sub I, so the company can deduct one more time the amount of the childcare center that they spend. So they already deduct 11,000 ringgit in the SOCI, but they are allowed to deduct one more time in the tax computation at the adjusted business income level. Okay, so number 3D, the company paid dental benefit to their employee 10,000 ringgit. So this is normal expenses in the business world when the company paid for the dental benefits. Okay, so this is normal in the business world. Right, majority of the company, they also provide the dental benefits to their employees. So this is normal expenses. The amount is already deducted in the SOCI, so no further deduction in the tax computation at the adjusted business income level. So we just record as a nil to present that as this amount not allowed for the further deduction. Enough to deduct at the enough to deduct at the SOCI, okay, and there is no further deduction in the tax computation at the adjusted business income level. Okay, because it's a single deduction only, yeah. Right, so that one is number 3D. Number 3E, we have the wages, okay, that the company paid to 7 non-resident employees. Okay, wages that the company paid for the 7 the non-resident employee, okay, where the company paid this non-resident employee wages without deduction of the withholding tax. Okay, without deduction of the withholding tax. Right? So the company hired 7 non-resident employee. Okay, when they hired the non-resident employee, they have to deduct withholding tax. This is a rule by the Malaysian government. Okay, actually not also Malaysian government, other government also same lah. When you hire the non-resident employee, you have to deduct the withholding tax first. Okay, before you record in the books. Okay, but the company forget to deduct withholding tax, so automatically the amount that they record in the SOCI, okay, 37,800 ringgit become non-deductible because you are not following the rules. Okay, it's actually normal when you paid the wages to the non-resident employee. This is actually normal expenditure. But when you forget to deduct withholding tax, so it's become that you are breaking the law lah. So it's listed under under prohibited deduction section 39 subsection 1. So the amount become non-deductible. So you have to add it back 37,800 ringgit, okay, for the amount that you not deduct the withholding tax when you pay the wages to the non-resident employee. And then because of you forget to deduct the withholding tax when you pay the wages to the non-resident employee, you have to pay another amount 3,840 for these expenses. This is something like penalty amount lah. Okay, alright. So because you not follow the rule, you have to pay another additional amount 3,840. So of course, because of you not follow the rule, you have to pay the penalty. So penalty, of course, for the breaking rule, of course, not allowed for the deduction. So 3,840 ringgit also considered not allowed for the deduction. Okay, because you are not following the rule, okay, the amount of you paid for the non-resident employee not allowed for deduction. The penalty because of this offence also not allowed for the deduction. Okay, 3E, yeah. Okay, and then 3F, alright, we have the company spend for 27,300 ringgit for the Jaya Group Family Day at Cerating for their employees and the employees' family. So they can invite their own families lah, alright. So when the company spend for the Jaya Group Family Day, okay, Jaya Group Family Day, yep, alright. So this is the entertainment expenses. Right, so this is considered entertainment expenses, but more on the leave wastage benefit expenses. Okay, so you can see that this family day is attended by the employees of Jaya Group Sdn Bhd, and Jaya Group Sdn Bhd can invite their own family. So we can consider that this leave passage benefit, alright, as a yearly event. Okay, yearly event. Alright, so we know that entertainment expenses is satisfied section 33 subsection 1 revenue expenditure, and then this entertainment expenses as part of a leave passage benefit for yearly event. So for yearly event, this item is not listed in the section 39 subsection 1. So 100% amount that you spend for family day allowed for the deduction. Okay, allowed for deduction. So 27,300 ringgit already appear in Soci. So no further deduction in the taxation because it's already included in the total of net profit before taxation. You already deduct the amount, okay, and the amount is already included in the total of net profit before taxation. So no further deduction because this is only single deduction. So no adjustment needed. We just record as a nil lah. Okay, right. So number 3F, number 3G, okay, is another entertainment expenses. Okay, 3G or another entertainment expenses when the company paid for the 5,000 ringgit for the holiday package to their sales manager, where the company paid the 5,000 ringgit to for the cost of FF. So this is also called entertainment expenses. Right, when the company paid for the ticket cost for their sales manager, this is also entertainment expenses. Specifically for the leave passage benefit, but these expenses is considered not yearly event. Why? Because it's only attended by the sales manager. Okay, it's a sales manager. Even though this is entertainment expenses, revenue expenditure, satisfied section 33 subsection 1, but when this entertainment expenses leave passage benefit is not yearly event, which means that these expenses listed under prohibited deduction section 39 subsection 1. Okay, where when the company paid for the ticket cost, this ticket cost become non-deductible. So you have to edit back the amount. Okay, right. So if the company paid for the ticket, accommodation, and food and beverages, so food and beverages and the accommodation is allowed for deduction, but ticket is specifically not allowed for deduction because listed under prohibited deduction in the section 39 subsection 1. You can check back in the lecture 8. Okay, we stated clearly when we have a leave passage benefit for non-yearly event, alright, so the amount of the ticket cost not allowed for the deduction. Okay, right. So we added back 5,000 ringgit as this amount is already deduct and appear in the Soci. In the taxation at the adjusted business income level, this item not allowed for deduction. So we add back 5,000 ringgit. Okay, number 3. Number 4, we have marketing expenses. Okay, so marketing expenses, the company already deduct in Soci 150,000 ringgit. So we see what include under the amount. Okay, so number 4, we have marketing expenses. They include 2 items in the marketing expenses. We have one is the promotion using the online channel. Okay, and then another one is the appreciation dinner to the suppliers. Okay, so the company spend 30,000 ringgit for the advertisement via online channel and 10,000 ringgit for appreciation dinner to the suppliers. Okay, so they already deduct this amount in the SOCI, but since it's listed under the notes to the account, we have to check whether indexation allowed for deduction or not. Okay, right. So for the marketing expenses, when the company spend for 30,000 ringgit advertisement via online channel, this is part of promotion cost. Okay, promotion cost is entertainment expenses, right, where it's a satisfied section 33 subsection 1 and not listed under prohibited deduction section 39 subsection. Okay, not listed in the prohibited deduction section 39 subsection 1. So 100% of the amount is allowed for the deduction. Right. So for this item, no issue. There is no further adjustment needed. So we just record as a nil to present no adjustment needed. Okay, however, for the another one expenses that the company spend where they include under the marketing expenses is the 10,000 ringgit for the appreciation dinner to the supplier. Okay, so this is also part of entertainment expenses. This is also part of entertainment expenses, revenue expenditure, satisfied section 33 subsection 1, but this type of entertainment expenses when you spend to the supplier is listed under prohibited deduction, section 39 subsection 1, where it's stated clearly in the lecture 8, okay? So when you spend the amount to the suppliers, okay, so it's only allowed to deduct 50%. Another 50% become non-deductible. Okay, only 50% allowed for deduction, another 50% is not allowed for the deduction. So the amount that you already deduct in SOCI, 10,000 ringgit. So in the tax computation, only 5,000 ringgit is allowed for deduction. Another 5,000 ringgit not allowed for deduction. So we have to add it back another 5,000 ringgit. Okay, number 4. Number 5, we have freight and insurance amount 34,000 ringgit of insurance premium paid to the Malaysian insurance company for the cargo export to Japan. So this is normal lah. Okay, when you export or import your cargo ke, your raw material ke, your product from the other country, of course you will pay the insurance to protect your stock. Okay, or your cargo or your raw material. This is normal. You paid the insurance premium in order to protect your stock. This is normal expenditure. Okay, this is normal expenditure for the company, right? Most of the company do it, right? So this is normal expenditure, right? So no issue, you already deduct this amount in SOCI, 34,000 ringgit. So in the taxation, this amount allowed for deduction. So no further adjustment needed. Just record as a nil to present that this amount is already deducted in the SOCI. Okay, number 5, right? Normal expenditure. You already done in SOCI and it's already appear in SOCI, so no further deduction needed. Right. So we go for number 6. We have number 6. We have bad and doubtful debt. Total of the amount that you deduct in SOCI for number 6, which is bad and doubtful debt, is 19,000 ringgit. So in number 6, they give you detail what they deduct for the expenses. Okay, you can see that. Alright, for the number 6, they give you details of the expenses that they include under the bad and doubtful debts. Okay, where the total is appear in Sochi 19,000 ringgit. So this is the amount that appear in Sochi. So this is how they get the amount. Okay, 15,000 ringgit for the increase in general provision. Okay, 11,000 ringgit for bad debt and written off. Okay, 10,000 ringgit for bad debt recovery, and then specific provision 3,000 ringgit. Okay, why they put negative amount here? Why they have negative here? Why the amount 10,000 ringgit different from the others? Why? Why? Because this is the recovery. And recovery, this is income. The other 3 item are the expenses. Can increase in general provision, expenses. Bad debt written off, also expenses. Specific provision, doubtful debt, also expenses. Only bad debt recovery is the income. That's why they have a minus here to represent that this item is different from others. Okay, but they total up together in order to get 19,000 ringgit, which is appear in the Sochi. Okay, but since the question listed to you all this item, we have to check one by one lah. Okay, alright. So for the increase in general provision for the bad debts, okay, 15,000 ringgit. Okay, so as mentioned just now, alright, increase in general provision, this is in expenses. When you learn in the BA1 or BA2 or FF1, FF2, we know, right, when you calculate, we have the differences between the previous year and current year, you have increased. So this is the expenses. Right. So when it's expenses, okay, in the Sochi, you already deduct 15,000 ringgit. Okay. But in the taxation, we know that increase in general provision. Okay, increase in general provision, only estimated amount, not satisfied section 33 subsection 1. So this amount 15,000 ringgit that you already deduct in Sochi not allowed for deduction in the taxation. So we have to edit back 15,000 ringgit. Okay, we have to edit back 15,000 ringgit. How about if the question stated that decrease in general provision? Decrease in general provision, this is revenue lah. Right. So in the taxation, the amount is non-taxable lah. Terbalik lah. Okay, it's opposite lah. Right. So the amount will be minus lah. So terbalik one lah. Okay, second item in the bad and doubtful debt, we have bad debts written off 11,000 ringgit. You already include in the total of 19,000 ringgit. So bad debt written off, you know that this is expenses in the Sochi. And right, so what happened for the bad debt written off? You sell your product on credit to your debtors, so debtors not able to pay the debt, so you give up and you write off the amount. So this is expenses related to the production. And so this is revenue expenditure. So this is normal, allowed for the deduction. So no issue, you already deduct 11,000 ringgit in total of 19,000 ringgit. So no issue, alright, so we just record as a nil. Okay, and then we have bad debt recovery. This is income. Okay, in the Sochi, we record as income, right? So the income is already included in the 19,000 ringgit. Okay, so bad debt recovery when the debtor suddenly coming back and made you a payment. So you get lah the money 10,000 ringgit. You already record this amount in Sochi, and in taxation, we know that this is related to the production. So of course, this amount is revenue receipt, subject to the tax. Okay, so no issue, you already include in this amount in the Sochi and it's already appear in the net profit before taxation. So no further adjustment needed. Okay, why you record in minus column? This is a revenue, right? This is opposite way lah. Okay, debt recovery. Another one, we have specific provision. Okay, before this, I said that when we see the word provision, yes, we know that this is not satisfied section 33 subsection 1 because this is only estimated amount. But for the specific provision, is listed under specific section, section 34 subsection 2. Okay, section 34 subsection 2, right? So, the amount that you deduct in SOCI, 3,000 ringgit, also consider allowed for deduction in the taxation because it's listed under specific section, section 34 subsection 2. Okay, so no issue, we just record as a nil to present that this amount is already deducted in the SOCI. Okay, and no further deduction in the tax computation. Okay, number 6. Number 7, what we have for number 7? Okay, number 7, we have foreign exchange loss, 25,000 ringgit. Okay, 25,000 ringgit. Right. So, foreign exchange loss arose from the expenditure on imported capital equipment. Okay, right. So, foreign exchange loss, okay, arose from the expenditure imported on the capital expenditure. Yeah. Okay, so this is the expenses and losses, right? Okay, so this is expenses, losses is expenses, right? So we have to check whether the losses is related to the revenue expenditure or capital expenditure. Okay, so it's clearly stated that these expenses related to the capital expenditure. Why? Because you import the capital equipment. Okay, you import the capital equipment so that you get the losses, right? So, of course, when it's a capital expenditure, if not listed under specific section, this amount is not allowed for the deduction. So, 25,000 ringgit will be added back. Okay, how to get the 25,000 ringgit? It's listed in the SOCI. Okay, it's listed in the SOCI amount, 25,000 ringgit. Okay, later on you have said how to get 25,000 ringgit. It's given in the SOCI. Okay, number 7. Now we go for number 8. We have lease rental. Okay, or lease charges. Right, so number 8, we have lease rental or lease charges. Okay, so lease rental or lease charges, 30,000 ringgit. Okay, number 8 is a 30,000 ringgit. Right, so lease rental. So how to get 30,000 ringgit? Okay, how to get 30,000 ringgit? Okay, right. So before you get the amount of 30,000 ringgit, you have to understand the situation of the lease rental first. Okay, so what is a lease rental here, or what is the lease charges? So in the lecture 8 for the lease rental, which means that you purchase the motor vehicle, okay, and you paid for the lease rental. Okay, but you have to know that when you purchase or you lease rental the motor vehicle that not licensed for the commercial vehicle, the amount of the spending, okay, when you pay the lease rental, yes, allowed for deduction, but have a limitation. Okay, alright. You can deduct the amount that you pay for the lease rental for the non-commercial vehicle, but have a restriction because it's listed under prohibited deduction section 39 subsection 1. Okay, so if you remember that when we have a discussion in the lecture 8, kan, when you purchase or you lease rental the non-commercial vehicle, if the cost of motor vehicle, Okay, if the cost of motor vehicle larger than 150,000 ringgit, the lease rental payment that allowed for deduction is up to only 50,000 ringgit. Okay, so now the company purchased the motor vehicle that not licensed for the commercial use is 180,000 ringgit. So of course, the lease rental that allowed for deduction only up to 50,000 ringgit. Okay, allowed for deduction is not that considered not allowed at all. Allowed for deduction but have a limitation because it's listed under section 39 subsection 1. Okay, if you look at back in lecture 8, alright, you understand that when you pay for the lease rental, it's listed under section 39 subsection 1, especially when you paid the lease rental for the non-commercial vehicle. If the cost of the motor vehicle exceed 150,000 ringgit, so the lease rental that you can deduct only up to 50,000 ringgit. If the cost of motor vehicle lesser than 150,000 ringgit, so the lease rental that you can pay is up to 100,000 ringgit. Okay, so how we want to know whether the amount that you paid already, exceed 50,000 ringgit or less than 50,000 ringgit. Okay, so it's stated in the question that the company make the rental payment of the lease rental 2,500 ringgit per month starting on 1st July 2022. Okay, they make the payment started on 1st July 2022 with the payment of the rental monthly is 2,500 ringgit. So we automatically understood that the company make the payment started on year assessment 2022. First year. Okay, so they make a payment started on 1st July. So July, August, September, October, November, December. So 6 months. So 2,500 ringgit times 6 months. So total of the payment of the lease rental in 2022 is 15,000 ringgit. Current year 2023, alright. So you still pay the payment 1st January until 31st December. So 2,500 ringgit times 12 months. Total of the amount that you pay for the lease rental is 30,000 ringgit, which is appear in the SOCI. Okay, right. The amount that you pay for the lease rental for the current period is listed in the SOCI. So 30,000 ringgit. Okay. To know whether the amount that you paid for the lease rental is allowed for deduction, so you have to total up the amount that you pay for the current period and the previous period to get the accumulated lease rental payment. Okay. So 15,000 plus 30,000, the accumulated rental payment is 45,000 ringgit. Okay, the restriction said that if your cost of the motor vehicle exceed 150,000 ringgit, so you only allowed to deduct up to 50,000 ringgit. So now you pay only 45,000 ringgit. The restriction is 50,000 ringgit. So which means that all of the amount that you pay is allowed for the deduction lah, because it's lesser than 50,000 ringgit. So no further adjustment needed because you already deduct all the amount, okay, in the SOCI previously. Okay, so in the tax computation, you write as a nil. Okay, right as a nil. Alright, so how about let's say like example lah. Okay, you paid accumulated rental total let's say lah example you have a 750,000 ringgit. Let's say lah example, you pay accumulated rental let's say lah 750,000 ringgit. So how much is not allowed for deduction? Not allowed for deduction 700,000 ringgit lah. And right, so you pay accumulated rental 750,000, only allowed to deduct 50,000. So not allowed for deduction is 700,000. Okay, right, that one is a number 8, lease rental. Okay, so this one is come out in the last semester final example. Lease rental, but majority calculate wrongly. Okay, so number 8. Now we go for number 9. Okay, we go for number 9. We have number 9. Alright, so okay, we have repair and maintenance 60,000 ringgit. So you deduct in the SOCI, repair and maintenance 60,000 ringgit. So we see the detail for the number 9. Okay, so number 9, 60,000 ringgit. Total of the amount that you already deduct in SOCI, 60,000 ringgit, comprised of 4 items. We have maintenance of the machinery, maintenance for the vehicle used in the business, revamp of the building to assist the disabled employee, and then additional counter at show. Okay, additional counter at the showroom. Right? So maintenance for the machinery, 23,000 ringgit. So this is normal. Maintain. You only maintain it. Right? So this is a revenue expenditure. Satisfied section 33 subsection 1. This amount is already deduct in SOCI. So no further deduction needed. Okay, normal. You already deduct 23,000 ringgit in the SOCI. Okay, you total up 60,000, you already deduct the amount, right? So 23,000 ringgit already deduct, so no further adjustment needed. Okay, second item in number 9, maintenance of the vehicle used in the business. Also normal expenditure, maintain only, right? So this is a revenue expenditure, satisfied section 33 subsection 1, so no further adjustment needed as the amount is already deduct in the SOCI and the amount is already listed in the net profit before taxation. Okay, third item, we have revamp of the building to assist the disabled employee. You deduct in SOCI 14,000 ringgit, where we know that the revamp of the building to assist the disabled staff, okay, is the capital expenditure. Okay, this is a capital expenditure. Of course, not allowed for deduction. However, when the company revamp the building to assist the disabled staff, so the government allowed to deduct according to the specific section, section 34 sub 6 sub E. It's not double deduction, it's single deduction, which means that the amount that you already deduct in SOCI, 14,000 ringgit, allowed for deduction. So no further adjustment needed for the revamp of the building for the assist the disabled staff. Okay, you already deduct 14,000 ringgit in the SOCI, right? So the amount is allowed for the deduction. Supposedly it's not allowed for deduction because it's capital expenditure, but since it's listed under specific section, section 34 sub 6 sub E, so it's allowed for the deduction. So that's why in the tax computation, no further deduction. Okay, it's not double deduction, it's single deduction. So always the student make the mistake for this. It's a single deduction. It's already deduct in SOCI, so no further deduction in the tax computation. Right, and then next item is additional counter at the showroom, 11,000 ringgit. So this is obviously capital expenditure. Okay, this is obviously capital expenditure, 11,000 ringgit. So of course this amount is totally not allowed for deduction. You already deduct in SOCI 11,000 ringgit, but in the taxation this amount is not allowed for the deduction. So we added back 11,000 ringgit. Okay, number 9, repair and maintenance. Number 10. Okay, number 10, sundry expenses. Number 10, you also deduct 10,000 ringgit. So we see the detail, what the company include under sundry expenses. So 10,000 ringgit already deduct in SOCI, including in 10,000 ringgit, the traffic summon, 1,000 ringgit. Okay, and then another one item is the printing of annual report. Okay, traffic summon and printing of the annual report. Okay, so traffic summon, of course, we know this is breaking the law. Okay, this is not part of the production of the household product. So, of course, 1,000 ringgit is not allowed for the deduction. So, added back 1,000 ringgit. Printing of annual report also not related to the production expenses. Okay, but furthermore, the printing of annual report occurred after, okay, the production period. Of course, 9,000 ringgit and also not allowed for the deduction. So added back 9,000 ringgit. Okay, non-deductible for both items listed in the number 10. Okay, number 10. Number 11. Right, number 11. Okay, donation and sponsorship. You deduct in SOCI 45,000 ringgit. Okay, so we see detail what the company make payment for donation and sponsorship. Okay, so number 11. The company make donation and sponsorship for 3 items. 11A, 11B and 11C. Okay, 11A, the company make the donation to the approved charitable institution. Okay, so the company make the first payment for donation and sponsorship is donation to the approved charitable institution. The types of donation is the food donation. Okay, food donation, right? So you have to remember that when the company make donation, donation is not part of the production. So of course, at the first stage, the donation is not allowed for deduction. It's a capital expenditure. Okay, donation is capital expenditure not related to the production. Okay, and when the company make the donation to the approved charitable institution, okay, the government only allowed to deduct according to the section 48A for section 44 subsection A at the aggregate income level. Okay, the donation to the approved charitable institution only allowed to deduct according to the section 44 subsection 8 at the aggregate income level. Automatically, we understood that at the adjusted basis income level, this donation not allowed for the deduction. So, we have to add it back 10,000 ringgit at the adjusted basis income level because it's not allowed for deduction. Because it's only allowed to deduct at the aggregate income level. Okay, 10,000 ringgit. Right, and then this donation, food donation, will be appear again at the aggregate income level. Okay, we will test once again for this donation, okay, whether allowed or not for the deduction. Okay, so it will be appear 2 times lah. Right, at the adjusted basis income level, since the government said that you only allowed to deduct according to the section 44A at the aggregate income level, automatically at the adjusted basis income level, not allowed for the deduction. So added back 10,000 ringgit, and then we will record again this item at the aggregate income level to test whether the amount is allowed for the deduction or not. Okay, so 11A. 11B, the company make the cash donation. Okay, types of donation is a cash, but the company make the donation to the political party. So far, there is no section that allowed to deduct the donation when the company make donation to the political party. So, we are recording at the adjusted business income level. So, at the adjusted business income level, we understood that, of course, the amount is not allowed for deduction, 15,000 ringgit. And then we will record again this item at the aggregate income level to test whether we have the section to cover or not. Right? So these two items we will record again at the aggregate income level. Okay, so these two items we will record again at the aggregate income level to test one more time whether allowed for deduction or not. Okay, 11C we have sponsorship 20,000 ringgit for Ipoh Arts and Cultural Event. Same This is also not related to the production. Remember that the company is producing the household product. When they sponsor the amount to the Ipoh Art and Culture, okay, we have to remember that this is not related to the production. Okay, so at first level, this is not allowed for the deduction. However, when the company make a sponsorship, okay, the government allowed for deduction under specific section 34 sub 6 sub K. Special lah. Okay, because the government want to encourage the company to help the activities. Okay, alright. So allowed for deduction up to 700,000 ringgit. Okay, so the company only sponsor 20,000 ringgit. The maximum amount that the company can deduct is up to 700,000 ringgit. So which means that all the item that the company sponsor allowed for deduction. So no issue, the amount is already deduct in the SOCI. So we just record as a nil. Okay, let's say like example, the company make a sponsorship 800,000 ringgit. Let's say example, if the company make a sponsorship 800,000 ringgit, so the amount that not allowed for deduction is added back 100,000 ringgit lah. Okay, because the limitation is 700,000 ringgit. If the company donate or the make a sponsorship for the art, okay, Ipoh Art ni we consider local art. So the amount that not allowed for deduction is 100,000 ringgit. Okay, now we're done for the adjustment in the notes to the account up until number 11. So now we go back to the SOCI. Okay, now we go back to the SOCI. So we're done for the all of the items listed in the notes to the account up until 11. You can see that we have another one here, depreciation. And see, you see, we have a depreciation. Depreciation. They don't give you any notes. Similar with the sales just now. They don't also give you any notes. But sales, we ignore the transaction because we assume that this is 100% related to production. How about depreciation? Also, they don't give you any notes. So is it we have to ignore the transaction? No, we cannot ignore. Why? Because depreciation in SOCI, 25,000 you already deduct. But in the taxation, okay, this amount is only estimated amount. Not satisfied section 33 subsection 1. So in the taxation, when it's not satisfied section 33 subsection 1 and not listed in any specific section, this amount is not allowed for deduction. So we have to add it back 25,000. Okay. You already deduct 25 in the SOCI, but in the taxation, this amount not allowed for the deduction. So we added back 25,000 ringgit. Even though they don't give you any notes, but we understood that this item you have to make the adjustment. Compare with the sales just now, we don't have any notes given, but we understood that this item is 100% related to the production. Okay, so that's why for the sale we just ignore the transaction. Okay, then after that, right, you total up the amount for the plus column and minus column. So plus column is 19764. So minus column is 516. 500,000 ringgit. So you can see that minus column larger than the plus column. So differences between these two columns, you bring to the third column. Okay, you should get the differences between the two columns, negative 318, 86, Okay, 86. And then last column, you added back with the amount of net profit before taxation. Okay, 1755. So last column, compare with the minus column just now, you get negative 318,86,000 ringgit. Added back with the net profit before taxation, 1755. So you get the adjusted business income amount. 1,436,140,000 ringgit. Okay, and then, right, go back to the notes number 12. Okay, we have this transaction. This is number 12. Okay, so note number 12, other income. So, right, so in the other income amount, you have 3 items given. Capital allowance brought forward, capital allowance for the current period, and the adjusted business loss brought forward from the previous year. So we understood that from the information number 12, last year the company suffered the loss. Okay, that's why they cannot deduct capital allowance last year. So you brought forward this amount for the current period. Okay, so we understood that the company last year suffered the loss. Okay, so that's why you cannot minus the capital allowance. And their losses from the previous year, you cannot absorb the amount. So you carry it forward to the current period to deduct against the adjusted business income amount. Okay, so now, right, we will deduct the capital allowance first. So which capital allowance you have to deduct? We have to deduct the capital allowance brought forward first. Okay, we have to deduct the capital allowance brought forward first. Previous year first, and then if still have a balance, then we can minus the current year capital allowance. Okay, right. So capital allowance for the brought forward one, you have unabsorbed. We call this is as unabsorbed capital allowance, 130,000 ringgit. Okay, 130,000 ringgit. You still have a balance. Okay, so adjusted income minus the unabsorbed capital allowance, you still have a balance. Okay, after deduction of the unabsorbed capital allowance from the previous year, you still have a balance. You have 130,614,000 ringgit. Right, and then you still have a balance, then you can deduct, right, after 130, okay, 1,306,14,000 ringgit, and then you still have a balance, right? So now you can deduct the capital allowance, okay, 460,000 ringgit. Okay, the current period for the capital allowance 460,000 ringgit. Okay, then you can get the amount of the statutory business income amount. Okay, after deduction of the capital allowance, okay, you get 680. Okay, and then when you get section 4, section A, then we can minus the losses that the company suffered last year, 170,000 ringgit. Okay, because you cannot deduct last year, so you can deduct this year to reduce your income. So when the income reduce, you can pay less tax lah. Alright, so deduct the losses that the company suffered last year. So deduct 170,000 ringgit. Now you get total of income from business sources. Okay, you get 490,068,000 ringgit. So this is total of section 4, subsection A. So after we get section 4 subsection A, right, we record again the 4 items that we class according to the section 4 subsection C and section 4 subsection D. We have rental income, we have interest and dividend. So interest and dividend under section 4 subsection C, rental income under section 4 subsection D. Yeah? Okay, right, this one is the same with the previous now. Interest and dividend we class under section 4 subsection D. Sorry, section 4 subsection C. Okay, interest and dividend we class under section 4 subsection C. Rental we class under section 4 subsection D lah. Right, so we have interest that you receive from the fixed deposit after you place in Maybank. So for the company, the amount is not exempted. So the amount is subject to the tax. Okay, the amount is not exempted. For the individual, yes, it's exempted, but the company is subject to the tax. Okay, for dividend, right, when you invest in the local company, you get dividend. So all the shareholders will be fully exempted from the tax. So it just required as a nil to present that the amount is not subject to the tax. Second item, a third item for the dividend just now is dividend income from the Singapore sources. So this is a FSI. What is FSI? Foreign source income. So foreign source income, okay, for the dividend income for the company is still exempted from the tax up until 2026. So not subject to the tax for the foreign source income for dividend, right? So we record as a nil. Okay, total up bring to the next column, 17,000 ringgit only will be subject to the tax. For rental income that we class under section 4 subsection D, of course there is no exemption. All the amount that you receive from the rental income from the passive source, 60,000 ringgit, is subject to the tax. Okay, I think I should change the color so that you not confused later. Okay, so interest and dividend, because just now I put pink color, right? So I will put like this one. Okay, so rental income, 60,000 ringgit will be subject to the tax. Okay, total up, section 4A plus section 4 subsection C, section 4 subsection D. Then you get the aggregate income. Okay, 5, 6, 7, 680 cents. Okay, section 4 subsection A, section 4 subsection C, section 4 subsection D. A, C, D, you get the aggregate income. Okay, after you get the aggregate income, right? So what we have, we will record again the donation. Okay, we'll test again the donation at the aggregate income level. We have food donation and we also have the political party donation. We test again at the aggregate income level here. Okay, as mentioned just now, right, when you donate to the approved charitable institution for the donation, only cash donation is allowed for deduction. Okay, food donation is still not allowed for the deduction. So we record as a nil to present not allowed for deduction. Political party, as I mentioned just now, no section 34, no section 44 covered for the political party. Understood that at the adjusted business income not allowed, at the aggregate income also not allowed. So we record as a nil to present that not allowed for the deduction. Okay, right, then we settle lah. Alright, aggregate income minus donation, you get the chargeable income. Okay, so this one I put here. So that later on you can check back on this one. Okay, so pink color here represent the amount that you assess separately. You record again after section 4A, you have 4C, 4D. Donation, not allowed to deduct at the adjusted business income level. Again, at the aggregate income level. So both also not allowed for deduction. Then you get the chargeable income. So after you get the chargeable income, what we have to do? We have to check their paid up capital at the beginning of the period. Okay, we check the paid up capital at the beginning of the period. Okay, paid up capital at the beginning of the period. Okay, 2.5 million ringgit. Okay, at the beginning of the period. And then, okay, sales amount at the beginning of the period 11 million ringgit. So both of the amount, okay, fulfill the condition. Tak. Okay, so fulfill the condition, both of the item, paid a capital and annual sale, fulfill the condition for the company to be entitled for this tax rate. Okay, first 150,000 ringgit times 15,000, the balance of 450,000 times 17,000, and if you still have a balance, we will times 24% lah. Right? So since the company only have chargeable income 567,680, so the first 150,000 ringgit times 15% will be taxed at the 22,500 ringgit. Okay, and the balance, okay, which is not exceed 450,000 ringgit times 17%. So 710056. So you get lah income tax payable 93,5056. Right, so this is the full set of the question number 2 for tutorial 9. So question number 3, I want you to try to do by yourself. I already uploaded the working version in the Microsoft Team. So maybe you can try to do by yourself lah. Okay, you can get the amount as stated here. Right, so if you have any question for question number 3, you can chat me at the chat box. Okay, any question before we go? No question, then